Today we're going to take a look at this Bravur Geography GMT model from the Swedish Microbrand Bravur watches. They are a very low production number or low output when it comes to quantity, but very high when it comes to depth and detail and originality. So I'll place some dimensions here on the screen so you guys can see the size of this model. It's very pleasantly sized. It's coming in under 40 millimeters. And because of the shorter lug-to-lug length and the thinner profile, and again, I need to mention here, most of that height is due to the box sapphire crystal that does carry inner anti-reflective treatment. Because of the height and the lug-to-lug length, it melds very well on wrist. My wrists are 7.25 inches in circumference, and you can see it's just classically proportioned for, I would say, more of a dress style design, but it's still a sport watch with a useful complication. This carries a GMT feature. Now Bravur, although they are Swedish, they're using Swiss movements. This one has the Sellita SW330-1 movement you can see through a sapphire exhibition case back. The case back does carry a little bit of gilt screening, which I find to be a minor annoyance. It kind of slightly obscures the look of, looking into the movement and seeing the perlage work, the custom engraved rotor. So if it was up to me, I would probably remove the screening, but I think it's more of a personal preference at this point. Bravur does fine tune these to +5 to -5 seconds per day when it comes to daily acceptable deviation. And so it's right along there with COSC specifications. I find that a nice thing, especially when we're talking about a watch that retails for about $1,650. And that's a nice price point. I mean, there's a lot of stiff competition right around that range. I would say the biggest competitor to this Geography GMT would probably be the new Atlas model from Manta. And so how does this stack up to other watches of the price point? I actually think it stacks up fairly well. There's some very rich dial details that are hard to execute at this level. So the dial is actually domed, and there's a nice delineation, not only in color of the rich blue, but also in elevation. Your center ring there is slightly, set in or sunken, and that is where you will find the gilt tone indexing from 0 to 24. That's for your GMT complication. The GMT hand is done in gilt to match, and your normal hour, minute, and seconds hand is done in silver tone, and that matches the applied Arabic numerals and the applied markers found on the sunburst blue ring, the outer ring that carries the domed edge. The traditional bent tip of the seconds hand is a nice little feature that I enjoyed seeing. It really kind of follows the curvature of the dial beneath and is a nod to vintage watches. A lot of vintage watches carry that element. Now let me give you a sense of the crown action here. We have a 50-meter water-resistant non-screw-down crown, very smooth winding. You can see it is a signed crown. And then if you pull it out to the first position, what you do is if you move clockwise, then you're engaging your GMT hand to jump forward 1 hour. And you can see that gilt tone hand making its way across that inner sub dial. Now, if I were to move counterclockwise, unfortunately, the GMT hand does not go backward. So let me just show you that. If I go backward, I'm utilizing the quick set date feature. So it's a handy complication to keep track of a second time zone, but it's not handy for a quick adjust if you're traveling. I mean, you could do it if you were going west to east, but if you're going east to west and you quickly want to adjust the time, you're going to have to go all the way around a full rotation of 24 hours really to get that correct time. Otherwise, if you're going counterclockwise, you're going to be messing with the date complication. So it's not a true GMT like you would find on a Rolex, but nonetheless, it is a handy complication. It operates exactly like the ETA 2893 movement that this Sellita is based off of. So just to wrap up the video, what would be any negative aspects to this watch? I think it's a handsome design. I think the details are here. I like the movement, the level of finishing, the level of accuracy and adjustment that takes place. But there are a couple negative aspects that I think are worth mentioning. The first one is going to be the strap. Now I placed it on my Milanese mesh, polished, made by Stabe, a German brand. And I just love wearing this bracelet on a number of different watches. It's really my style. But the watch does ship on this leather strap. You can see as a calf grain, there is a metal deployant buckle there. But I don't know, I didn't really bond with it. I think the watch is versatile enough to look really nice on like a brown shell Cordovan or such. But I didn't like the factory leather, so I placed it on Milanese mesh. And I'm going to look forward to just switching it out, trying some other options. Now the last negative aspect would be on the dial here. You can see, I mean, again guys, the depth and execution of the dial is a highlight of the watch, but you'll notice there is no minute indexing. So if you want to set the minute hand, you know, you're adjusting the time, you want to get it exactly on the minute, you have to wait till the time is on a multiple of 5. 12, 1, 2, 3, all the way around the dial. Otherwise, you're slightly guessing on the minute placement. So that's a minor annoyance. I don't think it's going to be a big deal for most people, but if you've got watch OCD like myself, yeah, it is a little bit of a minor annoyance. I like the clean look, but when it comes to setting the time, you do have to wait to a multiple of 5 to get the exact time synchronization. Now, in full transparency, I want to let you guys know that Bravur did end up giving me this Geography GMT. And in token of appreciation for creating this review, and also the BM003, the classic 3-hand dress watch that I reviewed last month. So I just want to publicly thank them and let you guys know I did try to be very objective in this review, but I do have a little bit of skin in the game here, since this is a watch that I did not have to pay for, and I will be able to enjoy here in my own rotation. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next video.